The New York Jets master plan has been revealed by offensive coordinator Tanner Angstrand, who broke down everything regarding this Jets offense, how he feels about Justin Fields being the quarterback of this team and the rest of this Jets offense for where things stand now, and why this is exactly the master plan that Aaron Glenn came up with, as Angstrand is showing why he was hired for this job, and we are going to discuss all this. So a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things instantly, as we always do. Guys, if you're part of that 69% that's not subscribed, we got daily New York Jets videos. You do not want to miss out on all the great content discussing the Jets. Right now with OTAs, there is some more news, but throughout this time in the offseason, we know there's not always the most storylines, but me and Matt will be finding content for you guys every single day, so you do not want to miss out. So make sure to subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and more importantly, let's talk about the New York Jets. When Tanner Angstrand got hired, we didn't hear a lot about him. We knew he was the quarterback's coach of the Detroit Lions and that Aaron Glenn is a big fan. We knew that. There wasn't much more that came out about him. He wasn't in the press a whole bunch. That was Aaron Glenn's job. And Angstrand was just a guy who we were excited about because of the job that was done in Detroit, specifically their offense in Detroit. So a lot of fans, myself included, were very excited to see a first-time OC in Tanner Angstrand and see what he brings to the table with first-time head coach Aaron Glenn. Fans are super excited about this season and the new coaching regime and just the new regime entirely for the Jets, whether it's coaching and defense with Stephen Wilkes being there as a nice veteran coach to help out with everything. And on top of that, GM Darren Mougey. It's been an exciting time. And Tanner Angstrand, we finally heard him speak on the Jets, and he revealed the Jets' plans for this offense and the master plan in general, and why all of this is going exactly to Aaron Glenn's designs. Now, jumping into what Angstrand had to say on the New York Jets and everything, he said, I think we just want to play fast, right? We want to be physical. We want to be aggressive. We want to be explosive. We want to be detailed. We want that to show up on tape each and every week. I mean, sounding like Aaron Glenn already. And then it was mentioned by Ryan Novozinski that Angstrand spent the past 4 seasons with new Jets head coach Aaron Glenn in Detroit on Dan Campbell's staff. He was the passing game coordinator for an offense that totaled a league best 564 points last season. So Angstrand is a guy who you look at and you get excited about this hiring. Me and Matt have talked about Tanner Angstrand a while back being hired away, and we liked this move. There was a lot of rumors that Angstrand was going to be the guy and that Glenn was going to take him. And there was a lot of discussion in regards to Lions fans who just sort of talked about where things are at for this team and effectively just what it's going to be like without a lot of their key guys. Because with Glenn and Ben Johnson leaving for the Jets and Bears respectively, there was also going to be other guys that they brought with them. Tanner Angstrand was one of those guys who left the Lions to get a promotion with the New York Jets, and now he takes over in a similar situation that the Detroit Lions found themselves in when Dan Campbell came in. It's this younger team that is desperate to win games, and it might not be today, tomorrow, that the Jets start instantly becoming a winning team, but they want to build this foundation, and this foundation has been laid by a bunch of different people, one of them being Justin Fields, who the Jets loved and gave that 2-year contract to, and they believe in Justin Fields. This is not just them saying that they believe in him. They wanted Fields. They got him on the first day of free agency because they were sure about him. They really do believe that Justin Fields has what it takes to be a star in this league, to be a legit NFL quarterback who could really shake things up for this Jets team. Now, Angstrand spoke on that, saying, Justin Fields can make opposing defensive coordinators stay up late at night. He is just a talented individual on all facets. He's obviously a physically talented player, right? Everybody talks about the running, but he's got an arm too, and he does a great job with that. There's a lot of things you could do with that type of player. And what Tanner Angstrand is saying right here about Justin Fields mimics exactly what Aaron Glenn was saying and what we know about Aaron Glenn and the type of quarterback he likes when it comes to football teams. Aaron Glenn is a dual threat guy. He doesn't just want to see a quarterback who's going to sit in the pocket, read the game, manage the game. That's not what he wants. He also doesn't want a one-dimensional quarterback who's going to be able to run the ball. And a lot of times, that is the criticism that Justin Fields gets, is that he is one-dimensional, that he never really got the throwing down. Matt and I have said the same thing about him. I'm not acting like me and Matt haven't mentioned that. We have on this channel said, well, that's the thing about Fields. Can he get better as a passer? We know the running game is unbelievable for Justin Fields. That's not lost on anybody. It's the fact that we want to see him evolve as a passer. And if he does, things are really going to change for this New York Jets team in a lot of ways. I mean, You look at Justin Fields' stats last season. He had a 4-2 record. He passed for 1,106 yards, which was 6.9 yards per attempt, and had 5 passing touchdowns in those 6 games that he appeared in. Those numbers are not excellent. The completion percentage was up, which is a great sign, and the yards over 6 games, getting 1,106 yards, is not exactly ideal. But we also can't sit here and act like the Pittsburgh Steelers were having the greatest receiving core of all time last season, and that their offense was just an unstoppable force. Their offense wasn't very good. We saw that with both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. The team was a great defense that had a pretty mediocre at best offense, and that's been the case for the Pittsburgh Steelers in a lot of recent years, and they stay good, a big part of that being Mike Tomlin's an excellent coach, but at the same time, it just wasn't a great offense, so you can't pin it all on Justin Fields, though if you're an elite quarterback, you can transform an offense. That's the thing. Now, Justin Fields, when it comes to rushing the ball, he is phenomenal. Last season, he took 62 attempts rushing the ball, had 289 yards, had 5 touchdowns as well, so the touchdowns were excellent. He actually had more touchdowns in his 13 games with the Chicago Bears last season. But at the same time, we didn't see it all. We didn't see what he was able to do in that 2022 season when he rushed for over 1,000 yards, and that led to him being 9th in MVP voting. He also had 7.1 yards per attempt, the most in the NFL. We saw, I don't want to say regression because it wasn't. It was just a change in systems, and we also saw him rush the ball a bit less the prior year as well. It was not the 160 rushing attempts that he had in 2023 in Chicago, and obviously there were 2 less games. But also, he's not going to be rushing for, what's that? I mean, we're going to be looking at, that's a 36 rush attempt difference. We're going to see him rush the ball friggin' 18 times a game, twice in a row. Probably not. So I really think that, and also he was not getting 500 yards in that span as well. That would have been the most insane thing ever. So obviously he rushes the ball a bit less, and that means he's going to have to throw the ball even better than usual, because on top of that, well, also he just has to, and there's no way around that. So it's going to be important to see how that all works out. And you look at Justin Fields. Over the last 3 years, 2 quarterbacks have rushed for 2,000 or more yards. Lamar Jackson had 2,545 games played, where he's getting 6.3 yards per carry and averages 55.6 rush yards per game. The only other one is Justin Fields, who rushed for 2,089 yards, I should say, with 6 yards per carry and 55 rush yards per game and 17 rushing touchdowns, which is more than Lamar Jackson. Now, I'm not at all insinuating that Justin Fields is better or a better rusher than Lamar Jackson. I want to make that very clear. But we have to be very aware of the fact that Fields' overall rush totals are worse because he played in 7 less games. That's a big factor into things. I think if he played those 7 games, based off the rush yards per game and the yards per carry, it would be pretty damn close. Now, obviously, the touchdowns are not going to be like Jalen Hurts. He's got the tush push on his side, and I'm in favor of the tush push being a rule, so I'm not saying it negatively. I'm just saying he does, and now we're going to see Fields use that as well, which I like a lot. We saw the Jets vote on that, so that is something to be aware of. Also, for all intents and purposes, we can count Jalen Hurts as someone who had 2,000 rush yards based off the fact that he was 5 away. But he also played 47 games. He played more than Lamar and 9 more than Justin Fields. So it's something that you realize that Fields did have more rushing yards and yards per carry. So you do have to like the production that Justin Fields gives. It's a matter of if he gets that throwing down, he becomes a true dual threat. And also having a guy in Garrett Wilson, the best receiver that Justin Fields has ever had in his team, a guy who put up 1,104 rushing yards, even though he was at odds with Aaron Rodgers, and kind of became the wide receiver too in regards to the fact that Rodgers looked for Devontae Adams. The second Adams got here way more than Wilson. Wilson still managed to get 7 touchdowns in that span, getting 11 yards per reception. Now he's the number 1 guy. You hear the sirens outside because it is going to be a severe emergency for other opposing defenses trying to stop Garrett Wilson, now the quarterback that loves him. So it's going to be awesome to see how that all works out. On top of that, you just look at what Fields said about Tanner Angstrand. Just talking to Tanner Angstrand, you could tell he's really smart. He knows what he's doing. I think he's very detailed with installing the plays and stuff like that. He's put a lot on our plate, but I think in the long run, it will help us. Now, we love to see that, and on top of that, we saw Angstrand talk about Fields saying he won 4 games out of the 6. You just see some of the things that are starting to develop in his game, and you look at it and go, that's pretty good. We can do some things with that. So we're already seeing the bromance begin between Justin Fields and Tanner Angstrand. We're seeing a connection with this team. These guys clearly are all happy to be New York Jets, and they're happy to be working together. Want to know what we didn't see last year? That. I credit that to Aaron Glenn more than anyone else. He was hired before Darren Mougey, so he gets more credit than Mougey does, and obviously Mougey gets credit as well. He's the one doing the negotiating on the deals, for instance, bringing in Justin Fields in the first place. But still, I credit Aaron Glenn with a whole lot of this, because he also trusted the Jets to hire Mougey. He gave the Jets the green light on Mougey as well. He was a big part of it. Glenn was super impressed with Mougey because the Jets did hire Glenn before Mougey. So you look at that and you see, okay, we have something here. We have this team that likes being together. Last year, it felt like that was not the case. Like there was just internal issues and the chemistry was not great with this team. And maybe I'm wrong, but that was the feeling that all Jets fans got. We saw it with Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. One of the reasons why Wilson was happy to come back is because Rodgers was not here. That was an issue. Rodgers was not good for the team chemistry. He's never exactly been someone where everyone's like, oh yeah, he's excellent for chemistry. And I know that Rodgers has helped out Jets players. For instance, Jermaine Johnson tore his Achilles. Rodgers lent Jermaine Johnson his private jet to get home. So there is things that make you go, okay, well, it does become a case of what's true and what's not. But what we know is true is that Aaron Glenn is an absolutely excellent head coach for this New York Jets team. And we look at this quote made a while ago by Zach Rosenblatt, who mentioned that Hackett and the entire previous regime is gone, and they've been replaced with Glenn and first-time offensive coordinator Tanner Angstrand, who is expected to operate a run-heavy offense, especially after adding Justin Fields. Clearly, Glenn believes in Allen Davis, too, and a big reason the Jets signed wide receiver Josh Reynolds is because of his abilities as a blocker. It's the same reason why they're keeping Allen Lazard as well. So all of this, we're seeing the master plan come into play, and you gotta absolutely love it. And I would absolutely love it if you guys subscribe to Jets Digest, because we got videos like this every single day. You don't want to miss out. So like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go New York Football Jets, baby.